is up, y'all? It is me, Tasha C, and in this particular podcast episode, another bonus episode of So Tasha C TV Be Talking and slash Vlogmas, but another Christmas Day video, Vlogmas Day 24, aka Christmas Eve, aka maybe some people just another day, aka they're just making one day at a time, aka I don't know if Hanukkah's still going, but I just decided to make another video because by the time frame, even though it seemed like this day went kind of fast, considering I came in to do another vid again. Excuse me, y'all. Y'all always get me when I'm yawning. I don't know why, but most of the time, at least I've been paying attention these last couple months. But this title is going to be focusing on, like I said, this is one of my quicker podcasts of, under 15 minutes. Is Grinch the biggest hater? Your me man once Mr. Grinch. How about this? I recently came up and ran into seeing on the gram this guy with some people talking about it. Is this actor that I guess I don't know if he's been on film or something, but recently just like 2 days ago found out about him. And the Grinch will be forever like, just from the Dr. Seuss movies. And I did originally see a couple of the Dr. Seuss movies. With the Grinch, the original Grinch, the Jim Carrey Grinch, Carrey Grinch where he was that. Also the one where I think it was like the kind of the 3D-ish one that was like in 2015, 16. It was one of that, but I've seen the three Grinch rings. The gift where he has the biggest smile and of course, I decided to turn my notifications off. Forgot to turn my notifications like silencing off, so you might be hearing that, y'all. Sorry about that. My bad. But it's this guy who's a Jim. I think his name is Nick Dardale. It's his actor. And y'all, maybe if I can let y'all hear the thing. Hopefully this recording will not go off while I'm doing this, but this is hilarious.
My grandma made you, look.
Your granny made this?
Yeah, she made you.
Oh, she made me?
Yes. Do you like it? Are you sure?
I'm not sure.
Oh my gosh. This is hilarious. This thing going on. I'm recently hearing about him. And he's an actor, but he's been like recently doing these Grinch videos. He's also did like I seen him like the Michael Jackson video. That's not always known for, but I recently have I think also he models auditioning the big screen who that character, if you remember the Fifth Family that Chris Tucker had played. If the mask and he was bitten as sinners. Oh my gosh. But yeah, he is quite a talent. I don't know if y'all was able to hear like he was playing as his version of the Grinch. He was and stuff. And I recently seen online, I don't know whose the family is, but this was hilarious. Heck, they were having like some type of Christmas party and had Santa Claus there, and then they had the Grinch come in, and they were like, of course, pretending like they got a fight, and the Grinch went away. Some of the kids ran under the piano to sit in the room and everything. So I just thought about this again. I was going to make like another video. Originally was going to be another podcast, but like I said before, y'all, I'm making up all the months since the last time I made a podcast. So, it's picking up. Boy, I was on here. I also seen, like I said, besides the oh my god, especially a Thomas video told Chico. I told Tico Choco and it used with Chad, who used to be a dormant entertainment. I think now he's in Branch. I know he's in the medical field, like in like surgery operation room. So he's part of that. Congrats to him. I know his brother, because him and his brother, and it was originally 6 members, and then one they got cut down. Mike is still part of it. Emmanuel Chad and Chad. So it was kind of down once they didn't turn to 5, and eventually you might as well say Rome and Chad. I hope I'm saying their names correct. I think Chaz was the one that kind of left the kind of. I don't know if I think it might be older, but Cam and Chad. I always call Cam is the one, and Rome have moved to Washington. They recently, I think they were from down south. They did like skits and a college thing, and eventually over time they moved to Los Angeles, and then it's Mike up there. He was doing something. He he sings, raps. He's also DJ and produces his own stuff. But I don't know if he moved up there to share. But so they've been doing the podcast on off. I've been watching them on off for a couple years with their podcast as well. But I just remind me about Chad. I think Chad or Chaz, I always get his name mixed up. But I remember Cam, that's the younger brother, that's still him in Rome. They got, like their own club line, do all this other stuff, and other businesses. I think also Shades. But Chad is in there with a cowboy hat. It's been run a couple of years, but it's a classic. You got the classic Stone, Treat 'Em Right in the background. You got Sugar with the cowboy hat on. It's famous, like I think for us. Chad is up there with a cowboy out. I mean, cowboy hat with cowboy hat with some Santa Claus outfit on, dancing. And then you got Barney. I don't want to get his name mispronounced, but he's got a mask on. He's supposed to be the Grinch, and he got some Timbs on. But it comes on. Like I said, that's how I found out about Toco Chico. But yeah, Chad is in there dancing too, and he was in a couple more other skits with them as well. But he, like I said, it's a classic, and I wanted to make this more, if possible, like a funner podcast, or at least most of it. So that's what the title is. It's Grinch, the biggest hater. I'm so on the side. Well, I didn't know what I was going to name this. I was, like I said, just going to do improv of what I was talking about. And I'm like, well, yeah, it's Grinch, the biggest hater. And have y'all, I know it's weird for me to say this. I mean, not weird to say this or whatever, but I have not, really have got McDonald's food like that in a long time. But I heard there was a Grinch meal. And I still haven't got it. I think one of the McDonald's I used to go to is sold out. Not I was going to try, but I heard the Grinch meal. I think you got to buy these. They're in socks. I've seen a couple of skits. People had the socks with the Grinch. And you can use the McDonald's, a.k.a. famous fries. And I guess sprinkler stuff will be McDonald's version would be dill pickles, like flavor to them. I know a cup AD. I think she tried them. I found her for a couple years. She tried them, and she said, she was like, thumbs up, these are good. And Bobby Seymour sent people the socks. And then even if I was thinking about getting a meal in, they was like, thank you, God bless. I don't know the Grinch is adults, because I seen the adults try it. They have an adult and a kids version. But if y'all did try it, what did y'all think? If y'all did, but I've been more so getting like the McDonald's, like their cross between, like that frappe is really a cross between like a hot chocolate and a cappuccino to me, but it's more inexpensive, especially with a coupon. I don't get it all the time, but since it was like $2 off, but I get none. I didn't use the coupon. I'll just go the day after Christmas and get one. My dad the other day though was last Saturday craving the McDonald's what is the McGriddle, because I actually had enough points I accumulated and actually got him that, and there was a special on that, so he wanted to see if somebody can get that for him. A little treat, I guess. So that's why I found out they were sold out at that one. But yeah, like the Grinch, stole Christmas because he had issues and was kind of abandoned, left alone. It's always, even though those was 3 different type of films I haven't seen, I think they made like a new one. That he felt alone, isolated, isolated, but eventually his heart grew big because he originally didn't have no heart, but eventually he ended up with the heart. So, I mean, heart actor realized, you know what? I'm going to give, life is too short. Okay, I ain't got to deal with all this. Woo, okay. So, how How do y'all feel about the Grinch? Have you ever heard about the story about the Grinch? Like I said, that one guy who is being a Grinch. I was going to talk about another story like they're kind of similar to the, not a Grinch, they're called the Grouch. But I don't think I'm going to talk about it because not enough time to refill. But I was to talk about it personally to me. And I may do this time a podcast because it's like a video podcast version as well. It'll be my longer podcast, but that's definitely due. And I still have 2 podcasts. The one I did last year, I never ended up posting the video version. And there have been 2 I did, like I said, I probably 4, but I was going to bring up about like that's kind of something, and I thought it was a good thing, but I don't know, it was weird, that whole thing. So if y'all want to hear about the story about that, when the next long podcast that I have that's past 15 minutes, y'all will be hearing about that story that was like, you know what, epic fail. Not to material what they were doing. It was just like I have a question mark about it, and it led me where you a grouch all right, at least based on this. But y'all, is y'all excited? I mean, I know I've been an adult for long enough where it's like Christmas, like yay, it could be another day, but there's nothing wrong with being in the spirit and the hollow festivities as well. Well, my nephew always bring up little Kenny. Because he's one of those kids, he's still in that stage where he loves snow. I mean, there's a couple of adults that loves driving the snow and stuff and winter tires. I personally don't know him. The only time I heard about it was like several years ago when I used to work at Sam's Club. And there was one person online that said they love driving in the snow and stuff and got their snow tires. Yeah, that's for y'all. Or maybe people who do sports in snow, or even if y'all do sledding and stuff and like doing snow. I don't like driving in the snow. Or even being a passenger in the snow, especially if if it's stuck in, or it could slide a car and stuff. I don't like the snow as an adult. Or even when I was just 18, I don't like the snow. My nephew is up here, he about to be, oh my gosh, in a couple months he'd be 17, Lord. And maybe other kids, but I used to think the snow was so cute and stuff and want to make snow angels, and even want the snow a lot on days where I had to go to school. I ain't gonna lie, even when I was in college a couple times, I mean, which was very rare, but it did happen, y'all, at times where the snow was so bad that they had to close school down. But it didn't matter. Once I went to the university and had either classes online or hybrid courses, it didn't really matter as much if it was being closed. But that was the only time I really honestly loved it being snow as adult, is if it benefited me or benefit like, okay, we get to stay home. That made a difference. But as an adult, I did not enjoy, I didn't enjoy as much as when I loved it as a kid. That was times like, oh, the snow and made this. I was not one of those people. I honestly don't remember. I don't recall me sitting there making even a snow angel as a kid. I tried making a snowman one time, and that was about it. 1 or 2, but I liked the snow, but I was like one of those people who didn't really play in the snow that much, even as the time when I was like, let it snow. Okay. But now as an adult, I don't care. I don't like it. And I got confused before, y'all, because my minute stuff is about to go up on here on this particular thing. My nephew, Neil Kenny, just informed me about the Strangers things. It's something supposed to premiere Christmas. I first thought that he's supposed to go, because, the movie theaters usually open every darn day, I think, for, even though people don't go to movies that much like they used to. It'll be open even, I think, on Christmas Day. And I thought, like, he was supposed to see the last finale Stranger thing, which I had to catch up on, was tomorrow, but he informed me, no, it's supposed to be on New Year's Eve, aka Mr. Fluffy's birthday, aka it's day before the new year, new me day. So, but other than that, y'all, I just want to talk about that real quick. But hugs and lugs, y'all, and I'll see y'all in the next podcast, in the next episode, maybe another bonus podcast. But I hope to put a video up tomorrow. But take care, y'all.